Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Nina. And today we're doing part 2 of Sun Moon Lake, Fresh Air, and Blue Skies. You know, that makes me wonder, Matt, have you actually been to Sun Moon Lake?
I have been before. And you know what? I was really excited to go because, when I was a kid in Canada, we used to always go every summer to this lake and go swimming in the lake. So when I heard there's this big lake in Taiwan, I was like, I'm going to go swimming in the lake because, swimming in the lake, the water's nice and calm. It's not salty. It's much nicer than swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
So I got to Sun Moon Lake and I was, had my swimsuit on, was ready to go.
Yeah.
And then someone told me,
You're not allowed?
You're not allowed to swim in Sun Moon Lake.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that's true. I've never seen anyone inside of Sun Moon Lake.
Well, there's only one time a year when you can actually swim in Sun Moon Lake.
Oh, really?
That's right. So since 1983, they've had the Sun Moon Lake Swimming Carnival, which is kind of like a race because you get to swim across Sun Moon Lake.
Oh, wow.
And it's only one day a year, usually in September. And tens of thousands of people join this event.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
That's right. Just because they are not allowed the rest of the year, so it makes you really want to go on this one day a year when you can actually swim in Sun Moon Lake.
Can anyone join this festival?
Well, I think you need to pay to join.
Okay.
And you need to have a group of people sign up with you.
Oh, so like a team. Okay, interesting. Do you want to join that festival or?
As someone who grew up swimming in lakes, I do not want to pay to swim in the lake.
Okay. Yeah, that is a little bit weird. I feel like it should be open to the public, but I guess it makes sense if you still want to keep that clean view of the lake. You don't really want people inside it all the time.
That is true. All right, well, let's learn more about Sun Moon Lake when we look at part 2 after this.
Okay.
Traveling by boat is a great way to explore the lake. We bought a ticket that allowed us to get on and off the boats as many times as we wanted. At one stop, we found Aboriginal stores that sold unique foods, and we watched some special dances and musical performances by the shore. There was also fresh, delicious papaya to feast on.
Welcome back to part 2 of Sun Moon Lake, Fresh Air, and Blue Skies.
All right, we're continuing to read about this experience of the writer's experience they had on their honeymoon at Sun Moon Lake. So let's continue. Traveling by boat is a great way to explore the lake. We bought a ticket that allowed us to get on and off the boats as many times as we wanted.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, sometimes they call that a hop-on, hop-off trip. So sometimes you have a hop-on, hop-off bus in some cities for sightseeing. And that allows you to take as many buses, or in this case, as many boats as you want in a day.
Okay, so they can go around the lake and catch all the views. Okay, continuing. At one stop, we found Aboriginal stores that sold unique foods, and we watched some special dances and musical performances by the shore. Okay, Aboriginal stores.
Okay, so Aboriginal refers to the original inhabitants or the original people that lived in a particular place. So in the case of Taiwan's Aboriginal people, there are actually 16 distinct groups of Aboriginal people that live in Taiwan and that were the, original people that lived in Taiwan.
So they're the true Taiwanese.
They are the true Taiwanese, and they were here first.
Okay. All right, so they got to see some Aboriginal stores, and they also watched some special dances and musical performances by the shore. Okay. There was also fresh, delicious papayas to feast on. Okay, so they got some shopping in, they got some performances that they watched, and they got delicious, I'm assuming, local papayas.
That's right.
Okay.
They mentioned local produce in the last one, so papaya would be one of those.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty cool day at, Sun Moon Lake.
Yeah, so they watched some performances from the local Aboriginal people. And a performance is a presentation of dance or music, as in a concert, or other forms of entertainment. So things that you're doing to entertain people, it's a performance. So for example, the performance starts at 7, so let's get to the theater at 6.
Well, that's pretty early, but...
Well, you want to, find your seat and get comfortable before the performance starts. And of course, a theater, most things presented at a theater would be performances.
Okay, and they said that they watched performances by the shore. Shore is the land along the edge of a sea, lake or river. So in this case, it's the land right by the edge of the lake. For example, Vera walked along the shore and looked out to sea.
Okay, so yeah, that's I think an interesting thing to do at Sun Moon Lake is to experience the Aboriginal culture there, because I know there's a lot of Aboriginal businesses there in at least one of the villages that's on the edge of the lake, and it's great to try some Aboriginal food, and to just experience the local culture.
Yeah, that is super cool. You get to really enjoy the beautiful views and experience a completely different culture that maybe you haven't experienced before.
Yeah, and I think this is becoming a bit of a trend in Taiwanese tourism now. They're trying to promote, local cultures as something you can go and see when you visit a particular area in Taiwan. So, Aboriginal culture in Taiwan is quite unique, and each tribe has their own unique culture. So there's many different places to go and experience that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's learn more about the things you can do at Sun Moon Lake after this break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们今天要继续跟着课文来游览日月潭。他提到这个乘船游览是一个好方法。他们买了一张是可以想上下几次船都可以的那种船票。那在其中一站，那边就有贩卖独特食物的原住民商店。他们还在湖边有观赏一些特色舞蹈和音乐表演。我们来看单字 performance。Performance 表示表演、演出。那么 shore 它是指岸，可能像这个海啊、湖或者是大河的岸，它也有滨的意思。那我们补充一下这个单字 Aboriginal， 它是形容原住民的，或是形容原始的。我们用这个单字来形容原住民的，这时候首字母常用大写。那么 Matt 老师在解释时，他用到 inhabitant。inhabitant inhabitant 表示居民。那这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 get on 或是 get off， 后面接交通工具时可以表达上下交通工具。那这通常会是公车啊、火车、飞机、船等等大型的交通工具。例如 Sarah got on the wrong train and ended up in 花莲。Sarah 搭错火车，结果到了花莲。那一个延伸学习是，交通工具如果是汽车的时候，我们会用到 get in 或者是 get out of 去表示上下车。例如Tim dropped his phone while getting out of the taxi. Tim 下计程车时手机掉了。好，那第二个重点是 as 形容词 as 或者是 as 副词 as 点点点，这是表达与什么一样的怎么样。那么比较的事项是名词时，我们就可以用到下列的句型表达，像是 as many 复数可数名词 as 主词加动词，或者是 as much不可数名词加上 as 再加主词再加动词。例如 Frank works for himself. He has as much free time as he wants. Frank 是自营工作者，他有足够的空闲时间。接话课文中。
From there, we walked up into the mountains and discovered a pagoda. This can be climbed for a better view of the surroundings. The whole area truly is ideal for those who enjoy long hikes. Although the nature was beautiful, I personally enjoyed seeing the lovely temples the most. Souvenir shopping is also a fun thing to do. Sun Moon Lake has many small shops that offer locally made snacks. You can even sample most of them. I am so glad that we chose to spend our honeymoon at Sun Moon Lake. It was a very special time in our lives, and we were lucky to spend it in such a wonderful place.
Welcome back. So before the break, the writer mentioned that one of the best ways to get around Sun Moon Lake was by boat, and that you can buy a ticket and that allows you to get on and off the boat at as many stops as you want. And they also mentioned that at one of the stops, there's a place where there's many Aboriginal stores selling Aboriginal food and things, and there's even performances that you can watch by the shore of the lake.
Yes, it sounds like a lot of fun. So continuing, from there, we walked up into the mountains and discovered a pagoda. Okay, what's a pagoda?
So a pagoda is usually a temple, and it's one that's in the shape of a tower. And usually what we think of when we think of a pagoda is a tower with many different tiers or levels that you can see. So these are often like Hindu or Buddhist temples that you can see in many parts of Asia.
Okay, so continuing, this can be climbed for a better view of the surroundings. Okay, so surroundings is anything around you, like buildings or objects, so it could be around a thing or a person. That's a surrounding.
Or in this case, the nature that surrounds Sun Moon Lake.
Exactly.
The views of the mountains and lake area there.
So continuing, the whole area truly is ideal for those who enjoy long hikes. Yeah, so you get to go up on top of the pagoda, you get a better view, and you can hike around Sun Moon Lake, you can bike. So you really have to be quite a nature person, right?
Do you enjoy long hikes?
Yes, I do actually, but I prefer it when there's a reward after the hike, like a really nice view or maybe a waterfall that I can go swimming in. But yeah.
Okay, so maybe this is ideal for you then. So ideal means living up to one's standard of what is perfect or what is the best possible thing.
Yes.
So something is ideal, it's nearly perfect, or it's as good as it can get. So for example, this house is ideal for families with young children.
Okay.
Although the nature was beautiful, I personally enjoyed seeing the lovely temples the most.
Okay.
So temples were more beautiful to this writer than even the nature.
Yeah, personally, I would enjoy nature more. So personally is an adverb, and it means in a way that involves you directly. For example, personally, I prefer rock to classical music.
Yeah, I think personally, I also would think that what's unique about Sun Moon Lake is more the things that are the natural things. Because you can see beautiful temples in many parts of Taiwan.
Indeed.
But if you're going to go to Sun Moon Lake, I think you should most enjoy the natural scenery.
Indeed.
Souvenir shopping is also a fun thing to do.
So souvenir is actually something that you can buy and keep or give to somebody. And it's supposed to remind you of a place that you went to or an event that you experienced.
Okay. Sun Moon Lake has many small shops that offer locally made snacks. You can even sample most of them.
Oh, so when you sample something, it means you get to try it, right? Okay, so sample means to try a small amount of something.
Okay. So that means you don't need to buy anything? You can just sample everything?
If it's enough for you, yeah. Like some people go to Costco and they have a bunch of samples, right? And they get full from it. So for example, they went to the bakery to sample the fresh bread. Ooh, that sounds good. I am so glad that we chose to spend our honeymoon at Sun Moon Lake. It was a very special time in our lives, and we were lucky to spend it in such a wonderful place. Okay, so the author is clearly very happy they went there, and they really had a good time for their honeymoon.
Yes, it sounds like they made the right choice to spend their honeymoon at this beautiful place, and I'm sure they'll have special memories for years to come.
Indeed.
So we do have a what do you think question. So Nina, have you ever been to Sun Moon Lake? And if so, what did you think of it? And if not, do you like the sound of it?
Well, I have been to Sun Moon Lake actually. I went with my sister, my brother-in-law, and my partner. And we had a great time because it was my first time there. And we took the gondola all the way up to Formosa Aboriginal, I don't know, theme park?
Yeah, I think it's called the Formosan Aboriginal Cultural Village.
Exactly. And I love amusement parks. So that park had a lot of rides. So it was like a good balance of nature and some fun.
Yeah, that's a good option because you get to see lots of trees and stuff on the gondola going up.
Exactly.
And lots of natural beauty. And then when you get there, you get to go to a theme park.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I did also get to experience and learn more about the Aboriginal groups.
Yeah, so it's a learning, not just rides, but also learning and getting some culture at the same time. Okay, well, it sounds like these people had a wonderful honeymoon at Sun Moon Lake, and it sounds like a great destination for people to go in Taiwan. So if you're planning your next trip, maybe you'll want to plan to go there.
Yes.
But as for us, we're done for today. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
作者他们接着走路上山，发现了一座塔，爬上那一座塔就可以欣赏到更棒的周围景色。那整个地区都很适合喜欢健行的人。那作者提到说，虽然自然风光很美，但是他个人最喜欢的是欣赏美丽的寺庙。好，单字 ideal 就是形容非常合适的、理想的。那么 personally 这个副词表示就个人而言，或者是亲自。那么补充单字 pagoda， 它是指塔、宝塔，尤其是指这种佛教的塔。Matt 老师提到说，这种塔通常有好几层，那他用到 tier 这个字 ，T-I-E-R， tier 它表示一层。老师还有提到 Buddhist， 就是佛教的 ，Hindu 则是印度教的。那么作者接着写到说，购买纪念品也是一件有趣的事。日月潭就有许多小商店有提供当地制作的小吃，而且大部分都可以试吃哦。那我们来补充一下 souvenir 就是纪念品、伴手礼。那么 sample 当动词就表示品尝、试尝或者是体验。那补充一下 ，Nina 老师最后有提到这个日月潭跟九族文化村之间的空中缆车，同学们有机会一定要去搭乘哦。从缆车看出去的景色非常的美。那我们用 gondola 就可以用来表达这是空中缆车的那种吊舱。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，这边我们来学习 those who 加动词的用法。those 在这边是当代名词，指那些人。那么 who 引导了形容词子句来修饰这个先行词 those 去表达点点点的那些人。those who 加动词用来当主词的话，后面记得要搭配复数动词哦。例如 those who sleep well are more likely to have a healthy life。睡眠良好的人较有可能拥有健康的生活。好，那么以上今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Traveling by boat is a great way to explore the lake. We bought a ticket that allowed us to get on and off the boats as many times as we wanted. At one stop, we found Aboriginal stores that sold unique foods, and we watched some special dances and musical performances by the shore. There was also fresh, delicious papaya to feast on. From there, we walked up into the mountains and discovered a pagoda. This can be climbed for a better view of the surroundings. The whole area truly is ideal for those who enjoy long hikes. Although the nature was beautiful, I personally enjoyed seeing the lovely temples the most. Souvenir shopping is also a fun thing to do. Sun Moon Lake has many small shops that offer locally made snacks. You can even sample most of them. I am so glad that we chose to spend our honeymoon at Sun Moon Lake. It was a very special time in our lives, and we were lucky to spend it in such a wonderful place.
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Wow, this guy, he's really lost in his book.
Lost in his book? What do you mean? He's right here.
Oh, no, that means he's really into his book. He's really concentrating.
Oh, so it's another one of those phrases.
Exactly. let's work on some new phrases. Let's work on some phrases. Okay, the first one is 死胡同 and 绝境. What do you think?
Blind.
Blind end.
Dead end.
Blind and end.
Dead end.
Dead end.
Dead end. You said that really quickly because you're correct. Dead end. Good job. Okay, next one. So by the rocks or on the rocks?
On the rocks.
I think it's on the rock.
By the rocks. By the rock.
By the rocks.
On the rock.
On the Oh, you sound very confident.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because you're correct.
Thank
Very
you.
good. What did we learn today? Today we learned some new phrases, so let's check them out. The first one is dead end. When you think of a dead end, the image of a road or path that just suddenly ends might pop up in your head. And that's exactly what the phrase is supposed to mean. When a situation has come to a point suddenly where there is nothing else you can do. You've reached an end point. You've reached a dead end. There's no possibility of proceeding or going on. And this can happen to anyone at any point in their life. But remember, sometimes if you reach a dead end, there's still a possibility of turning back and looking for another road. Let's check out our next phrase, on the rocks. It means something that is likely to fail because of a serious problem, or it's in a very difficult situation. This is another phrase that comes from nautical times. A lot of times this phrase is used to describe a situation where something might be falling apart and it's most likely not going to end well. So it's always used to describe a bad situation. And those are our phrases for today. KiWi later!